Listen, I'm gonna when I'm a mental health advocate. Like you said, I know a lot of us talk that mental health stuff, but a lot of us don't really talk about the work that it comes with. And I'm an advocate for therapy. I've been going to therapy, couples counseling, all of it. I'm an advocate for all of it.
Yeah.
One of my earliest therapy sessions that I was having with my therapist, and I was just talking to her a little bit about some of the stressors that I was experiencing at work, working in the field and shit. And I was laughing. I was like, how the hell did I, even get myself into this type of, why would I even do this to myself type of thing? And she laughed and she was like, she said, John, we don't just coincidentally find ourselves in this work. We've had life experiences that, ultimately propel us to being in this work and ultimately have us to serve.
Right.
So what she really was telling me is like, bro, the stuff that you've been through, it has made you, transition into this work and want to serve in this way. So tell me, I heard somebody say, instead of asking people what do you do? Ask people what happened to you. So what was your experiences that led you to wanting to do this work? Because you said that your dreams was always to be a teacher, but I'm sure that there was something subconsciously in you that said, you know what, I want to help, I want to give, I want to do something. What was your experiences that led you into doing this work?
Okay, so no, that's a deep
question, right? I know.
It's a deep question. So I'm trying to figure out how deep to get now.
As comfortable as you want to.
Okay.
It's a Live Your Purpose podcast, so I'm gonna ask you to be honest.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
And it's a safe space.
Okay, it is. I would say middle school was very difficult for me. 6th grade, 7th grade was rough. 8th grade too, but the difference of rough. 6th grade, 7th grade, I was fighting a lot. I was real angry. I was always ready, in a way that was very defensive and sad. At that time, you look at it like it's a badge of honor, that proves your blackness or something. But it was really a cry for help, honestly. Just going through a lot, just really low. And like I said, I was growing up with my mother, and so that just comes with its experiences. I'll call them experiences, not challenges. So I just had very unique experiences, and middle school was very, very difficult. And so middle school was so difficult that my freshman year, I got sent to this all-white high school. And it was like a culture shock. I was so uncomfortable, and I had never been that uncomfortable. I had never even felt that, what that was. And I remember also while I did get in a lot of trouble, my grades were always good. My grades were good. I was solid. But when I went to that white school, that Catholic school, I had to fight for a C or a B. I was trying my hardest, and I was never quite an A student there. And I also just experienced racism. That's the first time that I can name racism that I went through. And so I think my middle school experience and then going to that white school my freshman year, and I'm saying white school because it was a predominantly white school, not no disrespect. It was just what it was.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It was a white school. There were 3 black kids. 2 of them were black. 1 was mixed.
That's a white school. Yeah,
right.
Facts.
And I don't think there was one non-white adult. So that's why I say white.
The epitome of white school.
A white school,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
And so those 2 moments were that part of my life were just very difficult. And so fast forward a little bit when I go to undergrad, and again, I always wanted to be a teacher.
Right.
But I was sharing with you earlier, I went to work in Toledo and do a lot of student shadowing teachers in Toledo. And I was in a very, impoverished area. And I had that same thought and reflection of oh my goodness, this was how I felt. This was the going from my school to the white school and then back. Just the inequity, it's just not the same. And so I think that school in Toledo, combined with what was planted during that part of my life, just really showed me that oh, okay, it's work to be done. There are a lot of black kids who don't even get a chance. I remember how hearing my teachers talk about me and then hearing my professors talk about those students. Like, it was just like, oh my goodness, like, it was a lot of y'all. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And so another thing was when we had to renew. So second semester, we had to pick another school to go to. And I asked if I can go back to Toledo. And then she said, I remember, I will never forget her saying, like, oh, you don't have to go there twice. Like they were like it was some type of like, no, we just put them, just, check that off your list. Like, you don't have to go back there. Like, or when I started working at the school that I'm at now, it's like, why do you work there? And you should go to like a Beechwood, or your talent should be at, the Cleveland Heights, and it's just so disgusting.
They don't even realize what they're saying.
No. No. And I heard that my freshman year. I heard that my freshman year of undergrad. And then that's when I realized, like, oh, no, I'm about to teach Black kids on purpose because they need good teachers too. Like, how do we ever expect to get out of this if you keep telling a solid teachers, like, oh, no, don't go there.
Right.
And what's so crazy is, and I want people to know too, is not just white people who embody that. A Black male professor told me I was too good to work in EC.
Internalized oppression.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he's a professor. So imagine what that unconscious bias, how he was just spewing that in every lesson he taught. Right. If he's looking at me saying, I'm too good to go to work there. I'm not too good for too good for what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did